guys, me again, Ryan Jason. Today what I'll be talking about are the 10 signs that you could possibly notice within yourself whilst undergoing a Kundalini awakening, okay? Now, real quick, what is a Kundalini awakening? Well, a Kundalini awakening is when certain pathways within your body become active, thus allowing you to channel prana through your very being, through your vessel, which relates to many different spiritual side effects, again, many different states of being that you could be put into, opening you up to a spiritual world, spiritual experiences, and some pretty freaky, strange, out of the matrix type things. So, I call it prana. Okay, I call it prana. Why do I call it prana? Well, because many different spiritual organizations refer to this energy by using different names. So of course you've got Kundalini, Prana, Chi, Ki, and then you've also got Vril. Okay, now there are many others, but let's focus on Vril for a sec. Vril is very important for the Nazis because they would track down super psychics around the globe, bring them into their own little bases, and they would use their Vril or their Kundalini energy to power their ships. Not only to power their ships, but to perform psychic ability tests. You've all seen, no, maybe you haven't. There was a film that came out not too long ago where these people would stare at goats. And it was pretty much the same type of scenario. These military forces would take these psychics, put them in a room, and they would stare at a goat. And then the goat would just die, they would just fall dead. And they were harnessing their psychic abilities in hopes that they could use them within the war. Okay? These movies tend to resemble what actually happens in real life when it comes to people harnessing Vril or Ki energy. Now, Vril, Ki, let's just call it Kundalini, okay? It's basically consciousness. It is life force energy that circulates throughout the globe. It bounces across the ley lines of the planet, the ley lines which meet where these sacred sites already reside. Okay, some say that the sacred sites are there deliberately to channel the Kundalini throughout the earth, thus helping the earth pollute itself, the oceans, the air, and so forth. Not only that, but to rise the frequency of consciousness in every being on the planet. Let's think about that, okay? You're all probably getting excited about the side effects of Kundalini awakening, but let's just think about what I just said. The consciousness of Kundalini, that vibrational frequency, raises the consciousness of every being that's able to come into contact with said energy. When you have a Kundalini awakening, this opens you up to not only holding on to more Ki, more energy, but it also raises your frequency, it raises your intelligence, and it makes you more like a super psychic, a super being. So related to that, let's start with the 10 signs that you could possibly be going through a Kundalini awakening. Number 1, you'll be able to see the world from many different perspectives. You'll no longer believe that there is only one way to do something because you're able to see how one thing could be done in many different ways. Because of this, you'll often be misunderstood. Yeah, a lot of people out there don't believe that such a thing could be possible, that such a way of looking at life and people can be done from a multiple perspective. So it's only going to be you and everyone else who's already had this awakening. Now the reason why you're able to see a situation from many different perspectives is because as the Kundalini travels throughout your chakra system, this allows the area of the body to release a specific vibration which correlates to the different chakras within the body. So when the Kundalini rises up your body, it's going to be collecting that vibrational frequency and moving it up to the main seat of consciousness, thus influencing the way you see the world. Let's use an example for this point. Yesterday, okay, this actually happened yesterday, I was downstairs and my brother got called into the hospital and I said to my mum, I hope he gets everything he's asking for. My mum said, don't say that, that's horrible. The reason why she thought that was because she thought that I had a negative mindset towards the whole situation, that I wanted him to go through some sort of pain. When really, in all actuality, I realized that when you embody a character, you set yourself up for a series of events, because I've seen it from that perspective, okay? And I know for a fact that when you experience a reflection, that is actually a good thing. because it shows you what you need to fix in order to make your life better. So I was actually hopeful for the future because he could end up turning his life around. I was like, I hope he gets everything that's coming towards him. Because I was hopeful that he'd be able to see it coming, realize the wrongs he's made, and then turn his life around for the better. But I was coming from a place of understanding, from a perspective of this is how it could turn out. She was seeing me from a perspective that was, oh, okay, he wants him to feel punished and so forth. So it's two different perspectives. I can see both perspectives. I can see how she's thinking about the situation, and I can see how I'm actually viewing the situation. Not only that, but imagine if there were like 7 or 12 different ways of viewing at this one situation. That is what happens when you get a Kundalini awakening. You start seeing the life right before your eyes through all these different filters. This is also what is known by your world ending, the world as you see it ending. This happened mainly in 2012 when the vibration of the earth picked up. Thus everyone's worlds ended as they knew it, okay? At least to some degree. The second sign of a Kundalini awakening, probably not gonna like this, but mood swings. But not just any mood swing. Mood swings that you've had before. The reason for this is because as that Kundalini flows through your very being, it will filter out all of the emotional garbage. Now the problem is that in order for you to process that garbage appropriately, you'll need to embody that garbage. You need to embody that emotion. Why? It's because you embodied that emotion in the first place in order to have that emotion become grounded within your being. Just because you ignore an old mindset doesn't mean it's completely gone. And you'll know that it's still there because you'll be afraid to turn into that old you. To be surrounded by the same material objects, alcohol, cigarettes that could possibly trigger that old energy to come back up again. Now this kind of deals with shadow integration. Whether you like it or not, when that energy flows through you, you're gonna end up pretty, excuse my French, pissed. This can become a time of stress, a time of isolation because you won't want to be around people in fear of hurting them or acting out of character, okay? And you're right in that because it's not your character. You adopted these negative habits, this negative energy, these negative mindsets from your past. So, the best thing to do would be to deal with that stuff in your spare time, okay? Become the energy, become that emotion, shift into the old you, and then think about why it was that you were so angry in the first place. And then from your new ability to see things from multiple perspectives, look back at the situation that got you so flustered in the first place and try to see it differently. You have that ability now, right? You've had the Kundalini awakening to some degree. That wasn't the case back then. So you would have only been able to see it one way. But now you're not limited to seeing it that one way. So sit with yourself, meditate, get angry. Just don't project it externally to other people who don't deserve it. And notice when you're accidentally doing that, and then step back from the situation, apologize if you must, and then isolate yourself again and go through your stuff. One more thing before I go on to the next point. Stones like this, I think this is black tourmaline. If you wear this, it will bring up everything. You'll embody it, you'll become dark, right? And that's because it's purging the negative emotions. Same for obsidian and other black stones. They bring it up, you process it, and then it evaporates out all of that negative vibration. The third sign of a Kundalini awakening is your sex life will increase. Matter of fact, your entire sexual experience will become heightened. It's because the energy that's stored within that second chakra, okay, the loins, that part of your body, will begin to travel up and throughout your body, opening you up to new ways of feeling your body during the act. This is when males will start to begin to feel new aspects of their body during the act, which then cause them to have different kinds of orgasms. Okay, males can do this too. The reason as to why they're not able to have multiple orgasms in the first place, different kinds of orgasms, is because most males are cut off from the second down. The energy doesn't come up into their body. So they only experience one kind of orgasm. Most females aren't like that at all. It's always flowing most of the time, and that's why they're able to have these multiple organs. But a guy can actually do pretty much the same thing in terms of moving their energy around, thus altering a state of awareness also during the act of sex. That is when sexual intercourse becomes a spiritual experience for guys. This is a sure sign of a Kundalini awakening. The fourth sign of a Kundalini awakening is that you'll want to be in different areas. Okay, areas of your town, areas of the globe. This doesn't mean you'll move out and that's it. In some cases, though, that does happen. But first, you'll generally want to move yourself to another location where the energy is not only less dense, but less stagnant. You want to go somewhere where the energy moves and it flows everywhere. Most of the time, people would go to nearby parks, woodland areas, open spaces where there's not many people that are grounding negative vibrations and causing it to stay there and just vibrating stagnant within the environment, you know, like cities and small towns. You'll find yourself wanting to go to these places because you'll naturally want to flow that Kundalini that comes through the air into your lungs and down your head, down your spine, into the ground, through your feet. And you'll want to start purging the junk out of that negative energy. So intuitively, you'll know just to go to these other places. And whilst you're there, again, that will further facilitate the expansion of your awareness, that ability to see things from different perspectives. It will help secure your new way of being. The fifth sign of a Kundalini awakening is that you'll find yourself waking up on time. Now, I don't mean on time for work. I mean waking up on time with life, nature, nurture, animals themselves. They are tapped into the grid of prana, life force, okay? Therefore, their circadian rhythm, their physiology is tuned in to the biological clock of the entire Earth. If you're going to count the Earth as an organism, a living organism, they are tuned into the wake cycles of the Earth and the planets, the sun and the moon. So when you're tuned in to the Kundalini of the Earth, you'll also find yourself waking up just before sunrise, feeling very tired as the sun goes down. Okay. You'll also become very hypersensitive to feeling nature's animals as they wake up and as they start to want to go to bed, as they start to stop foraging for food and start to make and look for places to sleep. You'll start to feel that within your external environment. You become hypersensitive to that energy. And that's when you'll know intuitively to lay down and go to sleep. Even though there's some people within your household or outside of your household will want to stay awake and drive their cars and party, as long as you can detach from that and just do what you feel like you should be doing, you'll help support your Kundalini awakening. Number 6, you'll find yourself naturally gravitating towards higher vibrational foods rather than the dense, meaty, grainy, breaded foods, okay? This is again because natural living foods live outside where they've got constant access to Kundalini. It's flowing throughout the plant and it's going into the fruit. So when you're eating the fruit, your body recognizes that as a piece of Kundalini, a piece of life force energy. Therefore, it would prefer the lighter foods, that natural food source, as opposed to something that's artificially made, that's been tampered with, that's had the Kundalini drained out of it. Therefore, sustaining your life force for a longer period of time, also facilitating in the activation of new pathways where this Kundalini can flow and fluctuate throughout your very vessel, your being. Number 7, you'll find yourself being able to access greater insights. Remember those epiphanies you used to be able to have? Well, imagine that times 20,000s. You know, it makes you able, the Kundalini makes you able to access and fathom and comprehend new ways of looking at situations. Your mind just doesn't work the same way as it used to. Now it's better, it's upgraded. Some can liken this new mindset to broadband rather than dial-up or AOL, okay? You're now moving, or Sky Q, that's the new one. You're operating pretty quick, okay? So you're able to make sense out of things pretty fast. Because of this, your intelligence also raises through the roof. Your IQ becomes unmatchable to people who have not yet gone through this Kundalini awakening. So all of those stories about people becoming incredibly super intelligent due to a Kundalini awakening are true. Okay, me myself, yesterday my mum spoke a bit of French and I said très bien, just like that. Now I failed in my French lessons. I failed because, well, my headspace was all cloudy, but yesterday I just responded in French like it was nothing. Not only that, but I've been learning Japanese also. Ever since my Kundalini became active, I was able to realize how I learn and how I failed to learn in school intelligently by observing my own consciousness and then figuring out the right ways to learn things, which allowed me to excel in my educational activities. Therefore I became more smart. I started to absorb a lot of things. Not only that, but here's a really cool story, guys. Once my Kundalini awakened, I actually resat my maths exam. I went to an adult learning facility and the gig was, look, learn here for 6 months, get your driving lessons sorted also, okay, and you can sit the test. Now understand, I fell asleep through my maths lessons. I just put my head down, just... I failed my maths lessons in school. But with my newfound awareness, the teacher said to me, just sit in the class. Right now everyone's going through their revision period where they're revising what they have just previously learned over the past 6 months. Just sit in the class and just see if you can make sense out of something, okay? I thought, okay, sure. So I'm sat there and I'm just watching. And I start smiling because I get it. I get what they're doing. And she's looking at me, she knows I get it. And then 3 days later, she said to me, Ryan, I want you to come to the exam and I want you to sit the test. Okay, it's done online and then we'll see how you do. I didn't want to at the time because I really wanted to go through the 6 months. But she thought I already knew enough from what I was looking at. This could possibly be due to the fact that she was doing ratios and I was just coming up with the answer instead of figuring out or doing the equations beforehand. Everyone would be like, how did you do that? You didn't even write the equation. Like, you just came up with the answer. How are you doing this? I'm like, it's just easy. It's just there, right? I sat the exam and I passed the exam. I was supposed to be there for 6 months. It took me 3 days to learn 6 months worth of information and I got a grade for it. This then allowed me to go into the fire service training, and upon sitting with them and working with them for 9 months, I started to realize that their vibrations were pretty low, so I decided not to take the job. But still, I'm still self-employed, it's pretty awesome. This is all due to a Kundalini awakening, so this is your potential, guys. You can get there, you can reset anything that you want to reset, anything that you failed at in school, you can do again. But really, you need to get excited about it. You can't have anxiety towards being around students that are younger than you. You can't feel at a disadvantage. You can't feel stupid. You have to realize that, look, you're coming back now, but you're coming back different. And you're going to come out with everything that you should have came out with. Sign of awakening number 8. All forms of excitement will become heightened dramatically. If you're naturally happy, you'll become ecstatically happy. If you're really sad all the time, then you're going to be super sad and depressed most of the time. Okay? That may sound like a disadvantage, but again, multiple perspectives, you can dig up the crap, you can fix what's making you feel sad, raising your frequency. If you feel blissed out all the time, you're going to feel super blissed out all the time. If you get those moments of expansion, of knowingness, of where am I? Lucidity. Then you're going to get super lucidity expansions, which cause you to then start to come up with new insights about the world, which allow you to see the matrix as it actually is, you know, the system of thought. You begin to become more aware of things because, well, the excitement level, it's increased. So that's a sure sign of Kundalini awakening. Everything, your emotions, state of mind, state of being, gets turned up. Number 9, your physical body will change due to the intake of higher vibrational foods. Now at first you'll feel quite a bit of pain, sharp stinging pains within the organs and the tissues of your body. You'll begin to feel new areas of your body start to shift and move and tingle and push in, push out. That's because the energy flow is getting to those much needed areas within your body that are void of Kundalini, void of life. With me, it took about 4 months until these signs subsided. And only now, whilst I'm doing more Kundalini work, that I'm starting to feel it again. Not only that, but during your meditations, when you're dealing with the Kundalini energy, you'll begin to burn up like a furnace. You'll begin to sweat, okay? I was doing an exercise dealing with Kundalini, butt naked in my room. All the windows were open. It was in the middle of winter. It was snowing outside, and yet I was sweating all over because that energy, that Kundalini energy, burns out negative emotions, burns out the toxins within your body, and that will cause you to then start to steam and sweat. Sign number 10, your appetite will diminish. Simply because whilst you're outside, just breathing in that prana, that will make you feel very awake, very consciously aware, okay? Not only that, but physiology-wise, you just won't feel hungry, therefore you'll prefer to be outside rather than sitting in and eating a sandwich. This isn't a problem, it doesn't matter, you know, you're not gonna be missing out on those activities where you're eating with your friends and family. You can just go outside with your friends and family, go to the park, book a trip around the world, or if you can't afford that, just go outside, open the window. I'm sat next to a window right now. Feeling the air, feeling that life force will make your cells feel alive. So naturally, your satisfactory meter will be pretty high up, whereas most people need to eat food to feel satisfied so that they can feel some sort of energy. But you'll already be pretty high. Most people balance it out. Most people need a bit of food to come up around about here, and then the rest is prana. But the more Kundalini you take into your body, the less food you'll need to eat. So that's it, guys. These have been the 10 signs of a Kundalini awakening. I hope you guys enjoyed. Subscribe for more videos like this. Comment in the comment section below if you've experienced anything else like this. And based on your activity, will let me know if you guys want more videos like this. So yeah, I guess in that case, I'll most likely see you guys pretty soon. Peace.